Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton at markrushton.com. It is Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. And this video is called Music Chat, Problems with Songtrust. So we're going to be talking about music royalties tonight. And the three-legged stool I've got going on with Songtrust, the triple threat, the three strikes you're out almost. All right, so who am I? I'm Mark Rushton. I'm a professional recording artist and a fine artist who's managed to hang on to creativity. I've released music and sound since the early 2000s under many different names, including my own. I largely create ambient, beat-driven electronic and avant-garde music and soundscapes, as well as field recordings and sound effects. I'm also a fine artist and painter, make original paintings, limited edition prints, and functional merchandise. So, yeah, I've been with Songtrust now for almost 3 years. And I will say that they got money that I never thought I would get in my life. It was, I believe it was mechanical royalties from Google Play, the Google Play music store. Is that right? Yes. And why did I think I would never get royalties from Google Play? Well, it's the way that the licensing structure was set up years and years ago. It's different today because of the Music Modernization Act and the MLC and all that sort of stuff. Prior to that, if you missed the window with regard to a streaming service and which company that they had handled the mechanical licensing and all that sort of stuff, you missed it. It was weird. It was weird back then. So that was one of the reasons I went with Songtrust. There's a number of companies out there that do this sort of thing, this worldwide royalty collection, not just the United States, but around the world. There's, I don't know, 50, 60 some, what do they call them? Societies around the world where if you stream in a particular country, people do, streaming service in a particular country, then, there's additional royalties just beyond the sound recording royalty stream that you get. There's the mechanical royalty, there's the publishing royalty, there's other stuff in certain countries. Those all get paid either on a country or region basis, and they're small amounts, but adds up over time. And so instead of me going and applying to all of these 50 or 60 different societies around the world, half of which are probably in languages that I would have to use a translator for, and then it's just not worth it. It's better to have one company, you register your tracks, they use like an API or something like that, and they beam that data out to wherever. And again, likewise, when the other society is distributing royalties and stuff like that, then they handle that collection and pay me 85%. They get to keep 15%. That's how Songtrust works. And but yeah, like I said, when I joined them in 2019, they were able to get me the Google Play mechanical royalties that I never thought I would get, and I appreciate that. And they've gotten me other domestic and foreign mechanical royalties. I think some publishing royalties too over the years. And so that's great, right? And they have a pretty good service, but I've been experiencing a lot of problems with them lately, and it's disappointing to say the least. And, when it comes to music royalties, what do they say? Mind on your money, money on your mind. And so let's just go out here to the Songtrust site. And I'll just kind of air my grievances. I have emailed them repeatedly. I posted some comments on a couple of their YouTube shorts. Like, hey, gotta get a hold of me, right? So here's their contact us, song. I would be on the Songtrust client support. I'm a client. I'm a client. Actually, I would consider myself almost a business partner, right? Because I'm paying them 15%. We're kind of business partners. I'm a client, I guess. I don't know. Get support. And then when you get the email, they say, we try to get back to you within 5 days. Well, I had a question because I used to be affiliated with the Harry Fox agency, and HFA sent out an email with regard to additional licensing opportunity. I think it was with Meta, Facebook or whatever, or an extension, something like that. And because Songtrust acts as my administrator for mechanical royalty collection, HFA wouldn't allow me to go and sign the agreement. So I was like, okay, well, contact your administrator. My administrator is Songtrust. So I filed a ticket. I think it was over a month ago, and just explained it. Hey, the licensing opportunity, direct license or whatever it is, and HFA won't let me sign it. They say that you're my administrator. So what do I need to do? I want to be part of this, right? And I got an email back, and it was not an answer. And then I've followed up a couple of times since then. Some of the times, how do I follow up? It's just matter of fact. But then, often I will include, my email address, my street address, my phone number. Call me. Maybe. They don't call you. They don't call you. So many of these tech companies, they don't call you, and they barely email you. And sometimes when they email you, they don't include any of the text of your original conversation, that's something I don't like. Like, we should be having a conversation. I'm a business partner. I'm a client, right? I'm earning you money. Treat me with a little bit of respect, please. It's just a general question. I'm sure somebody around there can answer that. It's very simple. How do I do that? Can I do that? What are my options, right? So there's that. That's the first one. So yeah, they're not getting back to answering my questions. And there's a deadline on the licensing opportunity. There's a deadline. I think it's August 29th. And I'm just like, guys, I gave you like 7 or 8 weeks to answer this question. And already we're in like what are we in, week 4, 5, something like that? I don't know. The next issue that I have with Songtrust is let me just show you. This drives me nuts. So they have this thing out there on the site. Let me blow this up just a little bit here. So they have there's things called estimated royalties out there. So you can kind of see how you're doing for the quarter, the past quarter, and you get paid. There's a whole mechanism on how that works. And just a second here. One-man operation. And so, it's kind of nice to see the money roll in over a period of time. But a few days ago, I started seeing this. Like, I was well into positive territory. And I kind of track it there in my Microsoft OneNote. And then a couple of days ago, it suddenly said negative $600.31. And I'm like, what? Why does it say negative 600? Did you overpay me or something? I got the reporting on all the previous quarters. Like, why is it minus 630? So I went into the data, because you can it's kind of like an Excel sheet, sort of. The whatever thing that they have on their site. I'm not going to show it to you, but because it's got certain data in there that I don't want anybody to see. But you can go and order it highest to lowest, lowest to highest, and there were no negatives in there, nothing negative, right? So I don't know where this is. I don't know where the -$600 is coming from. And as somebody who has worked in tech here for the last 30-ish years, the last 25, 26 as a senior software test analyst, yeah, it's how do I put it? You don't want to see this. You don't want to see negative numbers, right? And you don't want to see reporting data that looks that unexplained, right? I can understand if you have, maybe somebody introduced some code into the system that accidentally produced this. Maybe throw a modal on the side. Hey, don't look at, maybe say something like, the estimated earnings for Q2 are we're working to fix it, right? That's what you should do. Or just don't even show this, right? Just take it away. Move it back down to 0, right? Why'd it go down? Because otherwise you're just going to get tons of support requests. It's like, why suddenly am I at -600? Doesn't make any sense. So your reporting data has to work. It has to be correct. And I understand that we're dealing with a lot of data, dealing with a lot of numbers crunching. There's a lot of, programming and software testing that needs to occur here. But when you're facing your client like this, again, it's just another question that I have. It's like, what do you know? And I'm sure, like, unlike a lot of people, I'm forgiving of the occasional error. As somebody who has tested software for uh, my day job and my career, this stuff happens. I get it, right? And then you go back and fix it, and you just double check and triple check and quadruple check and make sure it's good. And you bring back, you try to instill that trust. There has to be trust. But when I see -$600 for a couple of days, you know what? I'm a little concerned about what sort of answer I'm going to get if I, log another ticket, open up another support ticket. Am I going to say, well, it's estimated, right? Well, how could it be estimated in the negative? I have an idea of what, the royalty should be, and it's just -600. How is that possible? What's going on here? So that's not good. That's a bad look. Then the other thing that I got going on with Songtrust is, let me look over here. I'm gonna look off the screen here because I don't want to show you these numbers. But for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarters, from Q4 2020 to Q1 2022, which is the most recent payout, the amount on the website and the reporting data, or the quarter ending royalty data, if you go and add up that Excel sheet, that particular column there, they don't match, right? And 4 of the times the payout has been greater than the reporting, and 2 times it was slightly less, very small amount. But it's just like, okay, if you say you're going to be paying me out a certain amount, I would expect the quarterly data to match that, right? Say you're going to pay me out, I'll just use as an example, $376.98, right? Well, if you're paying me out that much, then the reporting for the payout should match that, unless there's something else going on, in which case it should be noted there in that report. So that's another thing that disturbs me. It's nice when the payout goes above the reporting amount, but why is that going on? And I have emailed them about that in the past, and they had some sort of excuse, which I was like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe you. So yeah, that's where I am with Songtrust right now. I really uh, uh what is it with these, you know, a lot of people in the music industry, you have to have transparency. You have to be trustworthy. You have to treat your client with respect. And it just I don't get this. I don't get it. Maybe there's an easy explanation. Maybe they, again, somebody got some bad code in there, or maybe they're short staffed, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what it is, right? But if you got time to make YouTube shorts, then you have time to answer your clients' questions over the past month, right? I'm just saying. It's like, what's more important, making the YouTube shorts or answering my questions and making sure that my um, making sure that I don't see anything like this, or making sure that my quarterly data matches the payout. I don't know. I think that's kind of important, and customer service has to be. I don't expect it's instantaneous. I don't expect necessarily phone customer service, but I expect within a couple of days. Yeah, I'm not asking for the world here. I'm asking for kind of just basic stuff. Here's a simple question. How does that work? Right? I look through your whatever it is, FAQ and guide and all that sort of stuff, but I didn't. So I don't mean to sound like a broken record here, but I have taken that. Listen, I've had like a referral link in my description for a while now, quite a while, and I'm removing it. I'm removing it. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous about Songtrust. Why don't they have their act together? Right? I kind of don't trust them right now. I have to put up with it, and but I'm gonna be public about it. I'll be nice till it's time to not be nice. You don't know what I've gone through the last 2 years here, right? So just could you get somebody? Could you listen here? Could you get somebody from Songtrust to get a hold of me? My contact information is right down here at the bottom of markrushton.com. It's not hard to get a hold of me. Leave me a voicemail. I'll call you back. Send me a letter. Send me an email. It's not hard. It's not hard, guys. So you just got to get dressed down a little bit. I think what's going on? I'm not seeking this out either, right? This stuff, you got to. I've got things I look at on a regular basis, and when you start to see things looking weird, like really wrong, I'm going to have questions. It's the way I am. It's my job. Not only in the day job back there for the tech company, but also for my whatever you call it, side hustle, my business, soon to be an LLC with electing S corp status, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I will give them, what's it going to be tomorrow? Thursday, Friday, next week. You can't call them. Can't call them. Oh, we want to be like Google or Apple or whatever. You can't call us. Here, use the community forum. Well, at least they're not like that. And if you do need things edited on your account, they're pretty quick about that. I will say that. But the kind of the general questions, I'm not quite sure what's going on with their support there. I don't know about that. It makes me wonder whether or not some aspect of it is outsourced and they are having staffing problems. I don't know. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be that transparency. And the thing is, when I was researching companies for this, I mean, there were a couple that others that I was considering, but there were some videos that I saw on YouTube which didn't have that many views. It was like of one of the founders and maybe the CEO and something like that from several years ago, and they seem to be making all the right. They seem to be making sense as far as their business plan, what they do, and what they do. In theory, is very beneficial for publishing musicians and people who are not signed to publishing deals and crazy 360 deals and everything like that. So the independent musician, the smaller, you know, it's a valuable thing. There's no way I could easily do this. I'd have to have a secretary who's multilingual, right? So I appreciate what they do, and I know it's not easy, and I know that there's a lot of challenges, and I'm willing to be understanding of that, but you gotta talk to me. You gotta meet me. So vent off. I'm gonna go chill out, but yeah, and hopefully I can follow up this video with good news. Good news, this is good news. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Mark Rushton. My website's markrushton.com. I was rambling tonight. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. We'll talk to you later. See